Hello everybody and welcome to a Path of Exile video. It has been a little while. This league has been not too kind to me, and it is entirely my fault. So, I played a lot of Chieftain builds in the past. Chieftain was kind of one of the first ascendancies that actually really took to. And so when I saw that there's a Chieftain rework, I was like, ooh, I have to try it. I have to give it a go. And so I, looking at the new Chieftain, the totem stuff is whatever. If Chieftain is going to be super tanky, having totems taunt for you is kind of like almost a counter synergy in and of itself. But it makes it a lot easier to play the game, not constantly be hit, I guess. They soak a lot of the small hits. Obviously, Hinekora, there's some back and forth on if this is actually good. Obviously, compared to the old Chieftain, it's really not a lot of damage when you look at it. But it does feel satisfying. It is kind of nice. The big thing is this whole, fire resistance. Your max fire applies to your other allies, and then modifiers to fire also apply to cold and lightning. So you can kind of spec out a full character with like just fire resistance. So like I have 44% here, and then I have 10% fire and chaos. I have 10% fire here. I don't even know where the large majority. Well, yeah, there we go. 45% there, and then 44% there. So I am, as you can see, well into like the Ellie weakness cap even. Obviously chaos is a little bit of an issue. But what I wanted to do with this is have a character eventually that would only have fire resistance on their gear, have capped out 89 to 90% Ellie res, and to get the fire mastery that says, I don't even have it spec'd right now. But it's that second to last one right there. Regenerate 1 life per second for each 1% uncapped fire resistance. This is a twofold synergy. One, we're stacking a lot of fire res, so we get a lot of life regen. And then two, our totems are actually regenning life based on our regeneration. And so it's a twofold synergy. You're getting a lot of juice out of just the interaction between those three things. And then you have a whole bunch of suffixes on your gear that's opened up for things like attack speed on your gloves or other resistances. You could probably very easily cap out chaos res using something like this. But the other idea I had was, there's not really, if you're going Marauder, I mean, Gladiator is incredible. Your armor applying to Ellie hits, or a percentage of your Ellie hits, whatever. Just Gladiator has a whole lot of. Wait, I'm sorry. It's champion, isn't it? Whatever. The Marauder ascendancy that's tanky. Why wouldn't you just go that one? And the main reason for me would be this unaffected by ignite. So unaffected by and immune to are two different things. You can get immune to poison from the armor and evasion mastery, right? Immune to poison if equipped, that last one. Immune to poison if equipped helmet has higher evasion than armor, or bleeding if you have more armor than evasion. Immune means it can't be applied to you. Unaffected by means it can be applied to you, but the debuff won't actually hit you for any damage. And so you can self-ignite without worrying about the downsides of the fire damage, which is cool. And then you consider how much fire res we actually get, and how we can very easily get 90% Ellie res. I mean, it's almost not even worth having unaffected by ignite there, because we're gonna have so much fire damage resistance that even if it's on a DOT, I mean, you can only have one ignite applied to you. It's probably not going to kill you in the first place. Regardless, I saw ignite and I was like, ooh, I want to take advantage of the self-ignite package. So went with an Eye of Innocence, which was, I think at the time, like 10C. I mean, yeah, look at that. You get a max roll for 2C right now. And then I went with Mokou's Embrace, I only care about the attack speed, so I got a min roll on the cast speed. But this gives us a whole bunch of attack speed. And my thought being, I'm a chieftain, I'm using a bow, I'm having to path really far to get kind of my damage options, but at least I won't have to worry about attack speed. This was wishful thinking on my part. Not only the attack speed is nice, but generally probably not worth touching a bow on chieftain. That's going to be my take this episode. So I have the first issue I found was just if you look up physical, right? Because thought being I'm chieftain, I'm marauder, there's going to be a whole lot of physical damage around here, right? No. There's some physical damage right there, and then you get melee physical damage. And then we get melee weapons, physical damage, melee weapons, physical damage, melee weapons, melee physical. And then there's something like this, which is incredible for a build that has like fizz damage and is going 100% conversion. And every 10 seconds, 30% of physical has extra fire. That's kind of nice. Because I do have a fizz bow. However, I just can't even spare the points to path there because I'm having to do so much pathing on this side. And I'm even using a large thread of hope to grab the extra arrow, crit, LE damage with attacks, increase crit. I'm doing everything I can. I have a Lionized Fall here with turning all these dagger critical nodes into bow critical nodes, which is a lot of juice. And on any other build, this would probably give you a whole ton of damage. For me, it gives me a whole ton of damage. The issue is I don't have any other damage literally anywhere else. And so you can see I didn't even finish my 4th lab. Getting into even yellow maps, I had to be really wary of what modifiers I was running. And I'm not even running, like, my Atlas tree is strong boxes, shrines, harbingers, and I just recently started going into Abyss. But I have like the basic, very basic, just add shit to my maps package, and it's just not good, man. It is just not great. So Chieftain, cool. Touching a bow, bad idea. Probably not gonna do that in the future. I have an idea for what I could maybe do that is still self-ignite, that would still be pretty interesting. There might be like a little fire blade vortex, or maybe fire exsanguinate self-cast thing that you could do here, but even if you do that, you then can't take advantage of magmatic strikes. Actually, oh, it doesn't even say attacks. Actually, yeah, if you had an Exang, you could actually take advantage of that. But yeah, I just eh. But to take you through what I am doing, so I do have a blast rain here. 100% of fizz converted to fire, and then supporting it with wed or elemental damage with attacks. I have inspiration to get that mana cost down. I have a Mirage Archer. I have immolate because we are burning constantly, and I have combustion support. And then I have artillery ballista with LE focus so that they can't inflict ignites. So that we get the better ignite, and then just LE wed. I didn't get the full 6-link setup with the artillery ballistas, but we have a 65% chance to ignite, plus the plus we're cursing with flammability, which gives 25% chance to ignite. So we go up to that'd be 90, and then I believe no, I don't. Yeah, I'm at 90 right now. I think an anoint. There was something else I was doing, or a flask or something, to get that last level 10% chance to ignite. And the reason that we're doing that, even though we're doing crit, is because I wanted this. Critical strikes do not inherently ignite. 100% increased damage with hits against ignited enemies, because it's really easy for us to get chance to ignite. And it's not easy for us to get damage. But again, this is just I mean, a lot of repeated hits. I'm sure this is doing something, but it's just not good. I'll just take us through some random um Jesus. I'll do some random T11 map. We'll just alk it and life possessed. That's fine. And yeah, just run it. And you can see for yourself. I don't know if I'm gonna do this full map because, like I said, this build was not working out for me. Holy! I recently downloaded. I recently updated my graphics launchers or my graphics drivers, and man, whew. Okay. So just to keep in mind, this is more magic monsters. The boss has increased life. Reduced damage from crits. The boss is possessed. There's no defensive mods on this map at all. There's not even really offensive. This is kind of it's practically. I mean, for all intents and purposes, right now it's basically a white map. Also, there's no quality, but I mean, you can see the damage is definitely not bad. It's whenever you see any rare monster at all, or a unique boss, that things really start getting not good. And whenever the Hinekora pops, it feels real nice. Jesus Christ. I might actually just splice over some video at this point. If this video is... If the gameplay is not watchable because of my graphics card right now, I might just include something else. I also decided to go with Call to Arms to, again, improve the defenses a little bit. I figured if I'm not going to be able to zoom and do the whole fast bow thing, I may as well dip into the tankiness. So I went Call to Arms, went Enduring Cry. We get the +1 max charge. This tattoo's super cheap, but it's just +1 max charge, max endurance charge, +1 max fire res, just adding to the whole 90 fire res dream. And actually, a lot of what I'm missing on the tree is the additional max res, which is why I haven't really even done the lab yet, because the difference between me getting that and not is not much. I should also say that the defenses in this build are... This is like my 5th pass on this build. I tried to do a lot of scavenging and salvaging. That was really difficult to do, but as you can see, we actually kind of got there in the long run of just... This is a very tanky character with honestly not much tank. For auras, I should have mentioned, we are running Herald of Ash, Determination, Precision, and Purity of Fire. Jesus. Purity of Fire, and then obviously our totems are Taunting. We have 6 max. We have 6 max artillery ballistas. We didn't decide to... Again, I'm kind of stretched for points. There was a moment where I considered going up to 8 because I am pretty close to the +1. That's on the kind of ranger side of the tree, and then I'm very close to the +1 on the duelist side of the tree. +1 summoned ballistas. Even though I am close to those two, I didn't see it being beneficial pretty much at all to actually go for those two things. Ooh, big lag spike. But you know, out of this, I had a lot of difficult decisions to make. It feels like a lot of the builds I've tried to make recently have been kind of either just short-sighted or whatever. I don't ever feel comfortable enough actually putting out any kind of build guides, especially after what happened in the history of this channel. There is one guide I have out that is not good. And I'm not good right now, and I know that what I did was ass. But we'll be able to get to see some possessed boss damage. Oh, and I have Defiance Banner as well on top of all those auras. You can see the damage is kind of non-existent, even with 6 ballistas. You know, there's a world where I almost went Wilma's Requital to get the bonuses to attack speed from cast speed, and then you go in Ancestral Bond, you can get like Focus Ballista or something. Make the artillery ballistas shoot when you do. That was something I initially thought of, but I figured if I'm going to do that, I may as well just be a different character that can actually scale attack speed well. All of this has left me just feeling pretty left out. I feel like if you took this exact build and put it on Berserker, it would be 10 times the damage, maybe twice as fast, and it might be half the tank. But I mean, I'm a softcore player. I don't need to be able to face tank Brutus if he's dead. But altogether, I think Chieftain was a cool experience. I regret being as ambitious as I was. I think there's a lot of cool things you could do on Chieftain. There's some stuff specifically, I'm not even going to finish that map. Specifically with this node, I think would be really interesting. Hit stun as though dealing 50% more melee fire. Ignites from stunning melee hits deal 20% more damage. And then you could go here with the whole ignite wheels. I think you could have a like endurance charge melee stun ignite build. That would be super interesting. And then you get these two, that's 50% ignite duration right here. Then you can come down and get this little damage over time wheel. There's like dealing damage faster. And then while you're here, you can pick up the endurance charge stuff. And you can do the whole endurance charge on melee stun. There's the 2-hand or 1-hand wheel. If you're Chieftain, you can go to the Fizz to Fire route. You can probably get Transcendent somewhere. You get Magmatic Strikes here. There's probably some really interesting melee ignite stuff you could do. Maybe with slams even. Maybe a slam melee ignite character would be pretty interesting. But it's not really what I wanted to do. And so I've already found a build to pivot to, and that's probably what my next video is going to be about. So I hope this helps somebody, whether you were considering Chieftain or you had a Chieftain build already. If you do have one already, it is salvageable. It's just I don't have the time or the currency right now to keep putting into this. Because Lion Eyes Fall, I mean, Large Thread of Hope, this was like altogether put maybe 2 Divines into this, which, you know, grand scheme of things, 2 Divines is nothing. 2 Divines, I spit on 2 Divines. But for it to be my league start and for me to have to struggle to get here, I can't say I'm too excited to keep playing this build and keep seeing what happens. Maybe on my other character, I get up and farm some more stuff and maybe I decide to come back, but currently, my other character is actually using the this belt, so I definitely would rather use it on that one. And like I said, I'll probably make a video about that one. So thanks for tuning in. Oh my god! And just real quick, holy shit! Did I figure out how awful my build was when it was time to do Black Star? I just noticed the quest on the side. When I had to do Black Star, I actually had to get a friend's mapping character to come do it for me. Because holy shit, is this build just incapable of doing any bosses whatsoever. Again, I have minimal damage to map bosses. When it comes to an actual boss without any modifiers, literally the white quest invite, that was too much. It was too much for me. But I hope this you were able to glean some kind of insight from this. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Whenever I do get off the ground, I will be posting currency videos like I've done in the past. Because at the end of the day, that's kind of what interests me, is trying to find edges in the market. As you can tell, we have not found an edge. We have not found an edge yet. But coming up, there's going to be a video about the new character, and then there's going to be a video about leveling, because holy shit, I take a long time to level, because most of the time the builds I'm playing are pretty painful to level. And I did something that I saw here and there, that was so much fun. And I actually got through the campaign in 10 hours, which is a hallmark achievement for me. I normally campaign is like 16, 18 hours minimum, because I get so bored and sidetracked and everything.